first I will tell you that only female mosquitoes can bite because males lack the required mouth parts to be able to suck blood. The reasons why female mosquitoes suck blood is because they need the source of protein in order to nourish their eggs. When a mosquito bites, two things happen at once. She'll suck a little bit of your blood, and she'll also inject some of her saliva into your bloodstream. What this does is it prevents the blood from clotting, and it also numbs the area around the bite. When she bites an animal that is infected with a mosquito-borne disease, which is a disease that can be transmitted by the mosquitoes, she'll suck up a little bit of the disease along with the blood. When she bites a human afterwards, the disease will travel from her midgut, which is her stomach, to her salivary glands, which will be injected into your bloodstream. There's about 3,000 species of mosquitoes worldwide. There are different species that transmit different diseases. For instance, Anopheles quadrimaculatus, that's the one that transmits malaria in tropical and subtropical regions around the equator. Culex pipiens, also called the northern house mosquito, is responsible for transmitting West Nile virus in the United States. Aedes albopictus, also called the Asian tiger mosquito, is an aggressive species that is capable of transmitting encephalitis, yellow fever, and dengue hemorrhagic fever. There are not one but 5 different parasites that are capable of causing malaria. There's Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae, and Plasmodium knowlesi. Plasmodium falciparum is the most powerful malaria parasite and is responsible for most of the malaria-related deaths on the planet. It targets the liver where it reproduces. It will then lay its eggs in the red blood cells, which causes them to attach to other red blood cells, which can clog the arteries, and in severe cases it will lead to organ failure. The most common malaria parasite is called Plasmodium vivax. It targets the spleen, which causes it to become enlarged. It is rarely fatal, however, it relapses months or sometimes even years after being treated already. Plasmodium ovale is almost completely identical to Plasmodium vivax. However, the main difference is that, unlike Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale is able to affect Duffy-negative reticulocytes. Duffy antigen is a protein that is found on the surface of red blood cells. A reticulocyte is an immature red blood cell that does not have a nucleus, so it will have a granulated or reticulated appearance. Another thing about Plasmodium ovale is it is very stealthy because it likes to linger in the liver and in the bloodstream for years without inflicting a single symptom. It's pretty hard to detect. For my service project, I volunteered at the Multnomah County Vector Control, which is a nonprofit organization that reduces the population of outbreaking mosquitoes in certain areas of the United States without wiping out the species. The reason why they don't wipe out the entire species is because, believe it or not, mosquitoes are important to the ecosystem because they serve as food for many different species of bugs and animals, but especially dragonflies, bats, and a few species of fish. At the vector control, they taught me how to identify different kinds of mosquitoes based on their appearances using a microscope. As I've been studying this topic, I have come up with several research questions. Since one of them is particularly complicated, it remains unanswered. My question is, can the disease transmission be stopped before it gets to the mosquito? When I grow up, I plan on becoming an entomologist. Therefore, I will continue to study mosquitoes, and hopefully I will eventually be able to answer my research question in the future. All right, Makai, you're up next.